different. We did have somebody approach us, but he wasn't a ground zero listener, nor did he know who Dave Paul was. The man that approached us was a troubled man, and he wanted to speak to anyone in the media that wanted to listen to him. And it was weird because he just all of a sudden unloaded all of this information onto us. And this guy has a very successful business in this town. In fact, his business, I've even been to his business. It's that successful. I've been there. A lot of people have been there. And so this guy is a well-known businessman in town. And whether you know his business or you know him by name, well, that's beside the point. This man came to us and he said that, well, it was a disjointed story that he was giving us about the murder of his girlfriend. I had no idea that this guy had a girlfriend that was murdered. But the man was describing what had happened, and he was speaking, and then I realized that the girlfriend that he was mentioning was a high-profile murder case here in Portland. A very well-known, very intelligent woman that worked for a very important company in the state, and so it was a high-profile murder case. So he had a very successful business, and she had a very successful career working for a very, very important company in Portland. So it was kind of weird that we were meeting this guy. And as he was speaking, it was as if I was reliving the news reports that I had seen on several news stations here in town. However, his story was less watered down, and it began to take more of a paranormal turn, in my opinion. This man, and I won't name him unless we decide we want to further our investigation into this case, the man asked me, "What does it mean, Clyde, when someone says that they are trying to get away from those that live in the darkness?" And so he played for me a conversation that his girlfriend had that was recorded where she stated that she had been, well, she had seen those who are a part of the darker realms walking alongside of her. And there was another gentleman that had to point out to her in the recording saying, well, here are a few people that are on the dark side, and then there are people who are on the lighter side of the force, and they're the ones that you need to associate with. This darker group that you see, I mean, it sounded really peculiar. He was pointing out that there are these dark entities, these dark human beings that were walking beside her. And she was saying, well, I can see beyond their disguise, and I know that they're not human. And she felt that she needed to help combat her. She had a few addiction problems. She had a few other things that she was trying to work on. But she was noticing there were some people around her that appeared to be from a darker realm. And this was recorded. I was listening to this. It was just amazing to me. His girlfriend believed that those entities or those people from the darker path were using psychological warfare to break her will, and they would eventually move in and kill her. They also demonized her boyfriend, the man that was with us in the restaurant, the man that was successful. They were also demonizing her boyfriend. The man shared with me, this successful businessman was sharing with me emails that she sent to him, letters about how she loved him and loved her mother, loved his mother. Letters she wrote apologizing to him for having her little problems with her alcohol and all this other stuff. And she was being bothered by what she called psychic vampires. And the man told Dave that he told Dave and I that when he presented these strange emails and messages to the police, they were not interested in them. I mean, they got their suspects, right? These guys don't look like they weren't even from Oregon. Okay, the suspects that murdered his girlfriend aren't even from Oregon. They just came from out of nowhere. And he played for me his girlfriend's last words that she left him on the phone. And the only thing I could hear, because I was in a restaurant, was a woman in trouble whispering, "Help me, I really need you." He said that he didn't get the message in time because 10 hours later she was found shot. Her body was left in a local park.